time for the updated Heisman list after week 12. Let's see who is still on my list. And spoiler, somebody's getting removed today. We're at 1. We are staying with Julian Saint. Now, Julian Saint did not have a great game this week, going 27 for 33. That is a good completion percentage, by the way. 303 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Definitely not enough to be moving down the list, though. At 2, we got Justice Haynes, and I know what you're thinking. Justice Haynes is hurt. He didn't play this week. But this man has rushed for over 100 yards in every one of his games, except the game he got hurt, where he rushed for 50.5, so would have had 100 yards. Even if he is hurt, he has done enough to be invited to New York. 3, we got Haynes King from Georgia Tech. Now, Georgia Tech was on a bye week this week, but 2 weeks ago, he had 500 all-purpose yards, and people below him are now starting to play a little bit worse. I think he moves up. He had the Heisman game. He just needs to keep production going. At 4, we got Ty Simpson. Now, this week, Ty Simpson managed the game just fine against LSU. 21 for 35, 277 yards, 1 touchdown. He has thrown 1 interception on the year. That is super impressive. But I think it's clear that Ty Simpson is nothing more than a game manager. And while that's not a bad thing, that's not someone that's going to win the Heisman. If he wants to win the Heisman, Alabama needs to let him loose and let him go off and prove that he is a Heisman winner. Just not making mistakes is not enough to win you the Heisman. At 5, we got Jayden Maiava. Now, Jayden Maiava had a huge bounce back game against Northwestern this week. 2 weeks ago, a terrible game against Nebraska, almost moving him off my list because of it. This week, bounces back 24 for 33, 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a forced fumble. Obviously, the forced fumble is not going to actually affect this. It's not going to be a stat I use for this because he did throw the interception. But that was still the coolest play I've ever seen happen live. Maiava is still number 8 in yards per game, so rightfully on this list. At 6, we got Marcel Reed from A&M. Now, Marcel Reed did not have a great game against Mizzou. Goes 20 for 29, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. And on the ground has 5 carries for 29 yards. But he's done enough to be on the list, and that's not enough to move him down the list. I should say off the list because he did move down a little bit from last week. Marcel Reed has played very, very good, and he is kind of the reason A&M is this good. Without Marcel Reed, they wouldn't be as good as they are. And to round off the list, we got Gunnar Stockton. Now, Gunnar Stockton didn't have a great game against Mississippi State, which is why he is so low on this list now. 18 for 29, 264. He did have 3 touchdowns, which is keeping him on this list. He is also a game manager, but I don't know if Gunnar Stockton has the talent to be not a game manager. I think Ty Simpson might, and just doesn't have the stats to back that up. But here is my Heisman list. And I told you I took someone off, and you're looking at this thing, and who it is? It's Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza played terrible against Penn State. He goes 19 for 30, horrible. 218 yards, not great. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His only good drive was the last drive of the game. Indiana does not trust him to push the ball downfield, and that speaks volumes. I know that that is going to ruffle some feathers, so let me know how you feel about that down in the comments. Tell me why I'm wrong. Not just that I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me where Fernando Mendoza has looked great. And as always, like and follow for more college football content on your feed.